Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, police efforts records more drug arrests. PDP supporters call for board meeting. And Fijian economy bounces back after tropical cyclone Winston.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiven Ngilio says the clampdown on drugs has led to an upsurge in cases of over 35% in comparison to last year. Ngilio says the force will continue its campaign on drug crimes, given its link to other criminal activities. Maggie Boyle reports.
While police have embarked on Operation Nyalandai over the festive season, drug crime has increased.
A significant increase has been in drug operations, which our officers are relentlessly pursuing. We've come out hard on that and we will continue to come out. There's been a 35% increase in drug arrests that we've made. That has been a daily occurrence.
The Commissioner says they're leaving no stone unturned when it comes to this crime wave.
Grading farms, pushers, even users. We've been picking that up on a daily basis for the whole year.
And their onslaught on drugs, Giliho says, will only intensify.
We will continue to work hard on drugs because they are links to other criminal activities. We've conducted raids where we've picked up stolen phones, other electronic gadgets, iPads, laptops and issues. So there is a clear link to those activities.
Crime overall, according to the recent police statistics, decreased by 1% in comparison to last year. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
A former PDP board member who recently just resigned from the party is calling on its board to hold a special general meeting to discuss its future. Veronica Tom says the move made by the interim party leader Linda Tambuya to join union with SODELPA should have been discussed at a meeting with all its members. Akasita Tale has more.
Veronica Toms has admitted publicly that PDP members should have been consulted about the party's move to contest the 2018 election under the SODELPA banner. She says this was unconstitutional, a move that has left many of its members still confused.
There were a lot of people who were very passionate about PDP, spent time walking the streets, door knocking to get the signatures, and they're feeling very angry and very emotional because they have been left out and not consulted as to the future of their party, and rightly so, it is their party.
Tom says that at least 5 board members were party to the talks, while the rest were not informed as they were assumed they had resigned or are inactive. A special general meeting can decide if PDP candidates can contest next year's election despite the MOU, as it hasn't gone to an AGM.
It never went to the party members via an SGM or an AGM, and I think the members deserve to have a say in what happens to their party. If the members decided that they still wanted to field candidates, I don't see that there's anything stopping them.
Attempts to get comments from other PDP board members were unsuccessful. Election Supervisor Mohammed Sanim says they haven't received former PDP party leader Linda Tambuya's resignation from the party to join the SODELPA ranks.
Meanwhile, Tambuya didn't want to comment on this issue. A superintendent of police was convicted by the Nandi Magistrates Court this morning. Peter Kenny was charged by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption for a count each of failure to render assistance and resisting or obstructing officers. Nandi Magistrate Muhammad Azhar found Kenny guilty for 1 count of failure to render and convicted him accordingly. Kenny was not found guilty for the 2nd count. The court heard while being a public servant employed by the Fiji police force without reasonable excuse, Kenny failed to render assistance to FICAC. He had refused to provide information requested by FICAC that was relevant to a bribery case against former acting inspector Timothy Naulu. An International Monetary Fund team that visited Fiji recently says the economy is recovering well after Tropical Cyclone Winston and is expected to record its 8th consecutive year of expansion. Team leader Pablo Murphy says the growth is expected to pick up to about 4% in 2017, underpinned by reconstruction activities, a vibrant tourism sector and the recovery of agriculture production. He says the growth momentum is projected to continue in the coming years. Murphy says inflation declined sharply in recent months as the supply of food items started to normalize and is projected to remain around 3%. He says risks to the economic outlook are largely related to external developments. Still to come, Fijians start preparations for Christmas celebrations. A new product for HFC customers. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na radio FIJIAN and domoy viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang ndo tali taka na radio FIJIAN and domoy viti.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tali. Nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga, gitu tali-tali yang gitu penesabale, mengunturong, barong na radio FIJIAN, nandunga ibiti.
Na radio FIJIAN, nandunga ibiti na bonga ni BNN.
Suva City was flooded with people today who were out and about doing their Christmas shopping with their loved ones. Kelly Vadala caught up with a few shoppers and spoke to them about their holiday plans.
This was the scene in the capital after midday today. Fijians entering various shops looking for the best Christmas present and comparing prices at the supermarkets.
We are here to buy some Christmas trees and clothes for families and our friends away which are coming from New Zealand.
Still thinking what we're going to buy for them.
Over here I see a lot of people too having a lot of shopping around, and it gives you excitement to see during Christmas to be here. I wish I could have celebrated the Christmas over here, but unfortunately I have to go back.
Many Fijians say with only 9 days to Christmas, people should be mindful of the busy period when coming into town.
We're planning my family with the Christmas shopping, and we celebrate together with my family.
Prices is a bit reasonable, not very high. Yeah, same thing here.
Meanwhile, police officers were also out controlling the traffic and ensuring Fijians carried out their shopping in a safe environment. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Home economics teachers, cooks at boarding schools and Technical College of Fiji trainers attended a 4-day Kanavinaka cooking course in Suva. The training for the 30 participants was conducted by the author of the cookbook, Kanavinaka, Chef Colin Chung. The book is about contemporary Fijian cuisine which promotes the use of fresh local produce and the development of a more contemporary style of cuisine using the outstanding local produce. It was launched in Fiji in April this year. Permanent Secretary for Education Yowane Tiko says the training session complements government's efforts towards the promotion of the Fijian-made brand.
Now you have realized the value of our local foods. You've learned kitchen techniques to cut, prepare, and cook tasty, healthy local foods. With all this knowledge, you now return to your schools to impact and change the lives of those you teach and serve.
HFC Bank has launched eLavo banking services for its customers. All HFC Bank customers can use this service. However, the main focus remains in the rural and semi-urban areas and unbanked customers to open and maintain their bank accounts. Retail Banking General Manager Tony Ram says they aim to provide basic banking services to all communities by this time next year.
Through the eLavo agency network, customers can open an account, make in-store purchases, perform withdrawals and deposits, perform local bank-to-bank transfers, top up mobile credit, undertake M-Pesa transfers.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, women's football team settles for silver medal, but up next is Akosita with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up, Kontiki Finance achieves major milestone. And in growing Fiji, Total Fiji to install a solar system at its service stations. Stay with us.
Moala rarala ranalika, au tikongona taunu singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora chubuni kurnambili,
Iborani Patsukara Hambara Binaranga, Total Takinan Warrongan ng Bula FM, number 2 and Sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and Sere.
Leading business tonight, Kontiki Finance Limited says it has achieved a lot. Almost 3 years it has been trading in the country and will continue to work in the interest of Fijians. Having more than 7,000 customers and having tipped over $100 million in term deposit funds, the company is priding itself in being largely Fijian-owned. Ritika Pratap reports.
Kontiki Finance says its achievements speak volumes of the commitment it has put in ensuring that Fijians get the best financial returns. Out of the 50 large companies surveyed by a private company in Fiji, KFL was rated the best employer in 2017, coupled with the best term deposit rates since they started, up to 6.5% per annum.
We've been trading nearly 3 years. We've grown very quickly, by Fiji standards, very quickly. But what's different with Kontiki is that the management team have come from businesses operating in the same industry with a lot of experience.
The company says it puts customers first, which has seen it hold roadshows in the 14 provinces, allowing people to make better informed decisions on their financial future.
A large percentage of our customer base is a consumer type customer with a personal loan type product. They are not buying plant equipment and machinery necessarily. They are consolidating debt to improve their cash flow, their personal income, by extending loan terms or getting better interest rates or more favourable repayment terms with Kontiki than what they have elsewhere.
And in line with the company's motto, Secure, Local, Innovative, Kontiki is only financial institution where you can apply for a loan online for a same-day pre-approval on KFL's Facebook page and website. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
We now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading market.
Thank you. Let's see the major news on the economic calendar today. Last night, we had the Swiss National Bank release its interest rate decision. As expected, it remained unchanged at -0.75%. Similarly, Bank of England and the European Central Bank also kept its benchmark rates unchanged, maintaining their accommodative monetary policy stance. Meanwhile, the United States released its retail sales data for November. It came in at 0.8%, beating expectations of 0.3%. Upbeat data from the US provided an early boost to stocks, but concerns over US tax bill hurt the market sentiment. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 68.47 points. The S&P 500 lost 10.36 points, and the Nasdaq Composite fell 18.24 points. For next week, we have another round of important releases by our major trade partners, and we will see how our Fiji dollar performs in coming weeks. And that's all for this week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Now looking at today's currency exchange rates set each morning for the Fijian dollar, the Fiji dollar had a relatively strong day. It rose against most but dropped against the Australian and the Chinese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices rose to $57.11 a barrel. Gold was down to $1,253.2 per ounce, and silver dropped at $15.89 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Total Fiji plans to have at least 20 of its service stations installed with solar systems by next year. Managing Director Martin McCarthy says this will ensure they become environmental friendly. McCarthy says they are also installing new fuel pipelines.
We have a new pipeline, brand new pipelines, which will be coming from Suva Wharf to the depot here in Wallu Bay, because the old ones are very old in that sense, and we need to replace them and make them safer. But we will be actually installing solar installations on the majority of our service stations in Fiji, so that they will actually all become solar powered. We have a solar powered depot in Vunda, so we'll be looking at solar installations here in Wallu Bay as well.
And that's it from business. Here's Jamie with sports.
Thanks, Akosita, and good evening. In sports tonight, Fiji women's football team settled for silver medal. And women's hockey qualifies for Oceania Cup final. Details after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
The Fiji men's football team will miss out on gold at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu. Despite beating New Caledonia 4-1, the side finished its campaign with 11 points. Saula Wanga scored a brace of goals, while Antonio Tuivuna and Rusiate Materarenga got goal each in the game.
But he has a long way to go. Still Saula Wanga comes in with a shot, and Saula Wanga has got the game breaker here finally. Climbing back in the match and won it 4-3. Here is a chance for Fiji. Saula Wanga, and he gets his second. That's so early as 46 seconds only. The corner kick comes into the box, stepped away, and into the net it goes. The Fijian defense stand and watch. Yes, competition in terms of the tournaments back in Fiji. Here's the delivery. Rusiate goes high, not really able to connect. And now Rusiate, and here's Tuivuna, and that is in the net. That is Antonio Tuivuna. It is a draw, then Vanuatu wins the gold, Solomons the silver, Fiji the bronze with this score line. And Rusiate Materarenga gets the goal that they wanted. This means a lot, and I tell you, look at the thumbs up from the coach.
Meanwhile, the Fiji women's football team had to settle for a silver medal last night after losing out to Vanuatu 2-1 in the gold medal playoff. Here are the goals from that match.
Jane play football here. That is a big delivery. Cecilia Nainima underneath that one, not comfortable as the shot from Solomon, and into the net. This is the lady that we spoke about, 22 years of age. This is why she was sent to the field of play so late. A pass made across for Femanasau. Can she make amends? Still Femanasau in the box, and into the net. It's Fiji. That equalizes here. Just 5 minutes from full time. Here is Vanuatu. Now Junani Ismail. What will she do with that possession? The shot, the chip kick, and into the net of the goalkeeper.
In the men's 110 meters hurdles final, Errol Nganga bagged the silver medal for Team Fiji. It was a close finish with Tonga claiming gold and Samoa silver.
For a second time they get the 110 away, and once again it is the Samoan travelling well in the middle. Tui's there with him as well. Nganga's not too far away. It's coming up on the inside. It's Bauman, New Caledonia, and look at this thing. Nganga's going hard out. Tonga too.
Fiji's Aaron Powell finished 5th in the men's 200 meters final last night. Ensmi Lee Marai claiming gold for Papua New Guinea in that event.
They're racing in the men's 200, and I tell you what, it looks like the great starter from Fiji. Aaron Powell got an absolute beauty at the moment. Running on the inside is Masso as well, looking very even. But out here is Marai as well. They're beginning to even up. Who's the stronger man? Marai looks like he's good at the moment. It's going to be Papua New Guinea on the outside, and then I don't know, maybe on the inside.
Cook Islands' Patricia Tay caused a major upset in the women's 200 meters final yesterday, beating favourite Toa Whistle to win gold, while Fiji's Sarawai Rangatu finished 6th.
And they're racing in the women's 200 metres final. Looking at Toya Whistle, she's travelling pretty well at the moment as well. She's already up on the shoulder of Ada. Toya Whistle is going good. Alatoa is there as well, but I tell you what, the girl from Cook Islands is going to hang it out here. This could be a famous win for the Cook Islands. We've been predicting it all week, and look at this. Patricia Tay, Cook Islands brings it home. Toya Whistle is second.
Fijian boxer Winston Hill had to settle for a bronze medal in the 69-kilogram category last night. Hill went down to Tonga's Tomasi Lalakai on points in the semi-final, putting him out of gold medal contention.
The referee may have disagreed with me. He doesn't. Oh, hang on. Molina with the left. Again. Hill's just not doing enough. You've got to dominate. You've got to be competitive. Hill's not competitive. Molina finishing on. He's got it.
Members of the Canterbury Crusaders rugby side, including FIJIAN Seta Tamanivalu, are in the country with their Super Rugby trophy they won this year. Tamanivalu, Mitch Hunt and Jordan Taufua, who are all featured in the successful Crusaders rugby season, arrived into the country last night with their spoils. The trio, who are here as guests of Fiji Airways, were greeted by fans at the Nandi International Airport. Tamanivalu will also be spending Christmas in Fiji.
Yeah, like I said before, it's special. I think it's a special occasion to be part of. Just the cup coming back home for the first time. Then some of the people in New Zealand haven't seen the cup before, but you guys are pretty lucky we bring it home. So for the first time, I think it's special. I haven't started training yet. I'm just on my break for of the New Zealand Rugby Union break, but yeah, I'm looking forward for the next season, and hopefully I can do a few runs in Fiji for the hot sun. So hopefully it helps.
The Fiji President's women's hockey team will take on the Japanese under-21 side in the final of the Oceania Hockey Challenge Cup tomorrow at the Hockey Centre in Suva. The national side ended its losing streak in the previous games to beat the Australian countryside 3-2 in today's semi-final. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Fiji women's team assistant coach Myra Torra was surprised with the team's performance against Australia.
I think they've picked up on their game. We've come a long way. We hardly had any time for training, but otherwise they've done very well. Very proud of them.
The team will try to avenge its loss to Japan earlier in the week when they meet in the final.
For us to go out and do our best and play like how we did today and give it all.
The women's team created the upset of the day and are proud of their achievement.
It was a really hard game, but we had a game plan from the beginning and we followed it, and honestly we were just trying to play as a team, and I think that really worked for us and that carried us through the whole game, being there for each other and just encouraging each other and communicating.
The finals of the Oceania Hockey Challenge Cup will take place tomorrow, where Fiji will face Japan in the women's category. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. Apple releases its most expensive computer, the iMac Pro. Catch that after the break in new media.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na radio FIJIAN and domoy viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang ndo talita kana radio FIJIAN kana domoy viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasivale, nagundurong varorong na radio FIJIAN na domoy viti.
Na radio FIJIAN na domoy viti na honga ni BNN.
In new media, Apple has released its most powerful computer ever. The iMac Pro looks like the traditional computer that hasn't changed in years, except with a darker space grey finish. Time for a weather update from Angie.
Hello to you and to the weekend. After a few showers, we're yet again to have more, so brace yourselves for that. Looking in the west today, cloudy with on and off showers. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, quite a dull day with grey clouds and showers. And up north, much the same, cloudiness and showers were the in thing. At sea, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. And for the tides, low tide tonight will be at 11:13 with high tide tomorrow morning at 5:18. Sunrise will be at 6:24. For tomorrow, it's the weekend and the weather is not looking well. We have heavy showers in store. Tomorrow's temps, the west will have moderate temps of 30 degrees. And looking further on to Sunday, the wet weather pattern will continue, so take extreme care. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should the Suva City Council take strict action against illegal parking?
I think they should take very strict action on that illegal parking, because most of the drivers nowadays are very careless.
Yes, of course. I think Suva City Council should take legal actions into people who illegally parking, because no one is above the law.
Because some drivers they just park their vehicles anyhow, and they should be fined. And for them not to do it next time.
Yes, if you break the law, you have to face the consequence.
I think they should take legal actions on the cars that are parked on the road, because it's not the right place to park their cars.
I don't like drivers who park their car on footpaths, because that's the public's walkway and the drivers should be charged.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a French village celebrates 20 years of its nativity scene tours. The Christmas season drives economies around the world and is typically a time when retailers rejoice. The business of Christmas is as important to small towns as it is to multinational corporations. Recapping the main stories, police efforts records more drug arrests, PDP supporters call for board meeting, and Fijian economy bounces back after TC Winston. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should NCD education be implemented in the school curriculum? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. Now, this was sent in by Johnny King. The sunset shot was captured on the Garden Island of Fiji. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye for now.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेफ्रिजरेटर से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.